We have to be able to take what we learn from that experience and extrapolate it into our professional lives and endeavors so that we can make more deals, serve our clientele in a stronger capacity, show up more fully, and how all that helps us to each win at what we're out to do.
Welcome to our Happy Rainmakers Video Series, where point one can make a difference. I'm joined today by Joseph Rosenfeld. He is an image consultant, and he's been working in the field for over 30 years. Thank you so much for joining me, Joseph.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So the reason that we're so eager to talk with you is because we know that sometimes image isn't just about how you look. It's not only surface. It has a lot more to do with your career. Can you talk a little bit about how that happens and how you help people improve their image?
The whole idea of the surface seems very superficial because, well, it's the surface. It is superficial. But there is so much that is to be gained by having a strong surface appeal because it's the thing that onlookers see about you at first glance. Just like watching this video, looking at Jen and me and how we look and what we're wearing and what we are conveying with our eye contact and body language or facial expressions, our posture on camera while we are seated, all these different things that you can see about each of us, you can attribute to your own self. And each of these qualities, before we even say a word, are beginning to register in your mind. All these things come together and need to create a whole brand of you. I would call it a visual brand because these are non-verbal cues. And when you look at each of them together, the collective, it can demonstrate that you are competent. It can demonstrate that you are a pro, that you're an expert in your subject matter. You can demonstrate that you can carry on conversation. It could suggest that you are going to be good at questioning people as much as you are at listening, even when you are the main speaker. The more inquisitive you can appear by also making your audience feel interested in you and comfortable around you, these elements of self that you can bring into your outer image reflect these qualities about who you are inside. And when that happens, you're gaining the trust and the credibility of the people that you're interfacing with. And that's very powerful.
Well, I would imagine that having an image that conveys the right tone would help you win clients, might help you get promoted at work, might help you win a court case or negotiate a better deal. It could probably help in all the aspects of a legal career.
It does. And when you think about each of these scenarios that you lay out, Jen, what I think about is every one of those scenarios has a narrative. There's a story involved in every one of those things. If you are a litigator and have a trial, and there is a story to that trial, and there is case law to support that approach that you're taking, representing your client, you have to take all of that case law stuff that sounds pretty dry to a jury and sometimes even to the court of public opinion in the courtroom, because everything plays in. It's all part of the narrative and the story. You think about how can you take that dryness and turn it into a story that's relatable? Well, you are the narrator, and how do you show up and play into the narrative of that story? You have to show up and be authentic to who you are, and you also have to show up and be authentic to the story that you're telling and in front of the audience to whom you are telling the story. So if you're a lawyer and you think about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, how did Fred Rogers show up for his audience when he came in from outside? Did he put on a cardigan and take off his jacket? Did he put on indoor shoes and take off his outdoor shoes? he did all those things, and he did them to make himself feel at home in his own space, and also that we were welcomed into his home and in his space. And he was able to tell us a story for a half an hour, including the land of make believe and so on and so forth. I take us back to our 5-year-old selves where we can think about this, because when we are adults, we have to actually do the same things that Mr. Rogers taught us, only we have to appreciate who we are and how we are not exactly Fred Rogers. And we have to be able to take what we learn from that experience and extrapolate it into our professional lives and endeavors so that we can make more deals, serve our clientele in a stronger capacity, show up more fully, and how all that helps us to each win at what we're out to do.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.